Hi. I'd like to talk to you a little more about the door and the ark. All through the scriptures, we know that Jesus was prophesied. When Jesus was finally born, he said, I am the door. I am the way. I am the truth. I am the life. And it's the same thing. He's our ark. We have to come into Christ for safety. I want to tell you a little bit about this water and it didn't rain. I told you last time, Venus has this vapor around it. The earth had that same. It says when God created the earth, there was a firmament around the earth. And so this water vapor was keeping the sun's X-rays from hitting us. It was like a terrarium. If you make a terrarium in a fish tank or something, because of this firmament, that's why people are still finding tropical plants up at the North Pole. They find the palm tree leaves. They find animals that typically live down around the equator. They find their remains up at the North Pole. How did they get up there? The flood. Because before the flood, some theologians feel that the whole earth was like an Eden, and there was a specific spot where Adam and Eve were born, but the whole earth flourished, and that's why people lived so long, 600, 900 years, because the sun's rays couldn't come down and start the process of atrophy, which is to get old right away. It diffused the sun's rays. You'll notice right after the flood, people's lifespan went way down. It's because it used to diffuse the rays and it didn't anymore. And you'll notice that if you read it for yourself in the scriptures. Way down. So we had a man come visit us at our church when it was on Lincoln Parkway in Crystal Lake, Illinois. Some of you probably were in the same Sunday school class with us when Dennis and I were young and married. But he was a geologist and he knew about a lot of things. He was a Christian man, but he came and he told us that it says in the scriptures that the firmament broke loose and the water, the vapor that was protecting us came down in torrents. For 40 days and 40 nights it took to empty out around the Earth's atmosphere and come down. And that's what caused that tremendous flood. And then the axis of the whole Earth, it used to be this way, and it tilted. And you'll notice in the scriptures it says, now there began to be fall and winter and spring and summer. Now there began to be seasons because of the axis of the earth turning. It was a tumultuous time. The fountains of the deep broke open, it says. I remember we were on a trip one time. Jason was a real tiny little guy, and Sarah was along, but she didn't know it yet. I didn't know it yet. Anyway, Jason was tiny, and Daddy told him, he said, Jason, we're going through the Rocky Mountains. You see all these big rocks up there? Yeah. And Daddy told him that's because of the flood. And God made the fountains of the deep break open, and all those big boulders spewed up out of the oceans. and piled up and made the Rocky Mountains. And Jason looked at it and he said, boy, God must have been mad. And he was mad. Well, again, my 3 minutes are up. I got to leave it off there. But the earth got reshaped and reformed. Man's lifespan took a plummet. See you next time. Bye-bye.